watching this. Welcome to Fatherless, Motherless, Parentless, Loss of a Fat Close Family Member, Episode 5. Now the title is still in the works. Of course you're more than welcome to drop a comment below if you feel it's a bit too much or too hard or whatever it may be, but in the next episode or two I think we'll have an appropriate title. Now, Episode 5, welcome. I will recap a few of the episodes previously. I will say thank you to everyone that has commented that does know me, your close family and friends. And thank you for your feedback and future feedback, I will say. It has been taken on board, and you obviously see the visual improvement over the time. And yeah, I'd have to say thank you very much. Episode 4 was very well received and still is being received. If you haven't seen it or seen half of it, please go watch and listen to the rest of it. There's a lot in there, so I would appreciate that one. Thank you very much to everyone thus far. So, episode 5, what we're all about today. Well, episode 5, we're going to focus, apart from recapping, we're going to focus on setting goals, moving on, rebuilding your life, and setting some goals. Now, before I delve into all that, from what I have listened, there's a very good 10 to 15% difference of audience roles, genders, and certain age gaps. And so before that, I will just go in to say however you want to apply this, whether this has happened recently, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, whether you're 10, 15, 20, 23, 30, 50, whatever, or however old you may be, wherever you are, whatever has happened, do what you can to apply to the best situation that is. I will do for this one not much more of a grief kind of format. I will just go with wherever you are, whether you've lost your father, mother, both parents, whether you are raised by a single parent or you're an orphan, whatever it may be, whatever your life situation is. Do what you can to apply the principles to your situation. Everyone will be different, but the context and content will still be the same one way or another. So, a bit of a recap of the first few episodes. Obviously, with your situation, there's feelings of shock, denial, despair, hurt, or abandonment, which is common. So if you feel any of these at any time, it is understandably so. Obviously, you want to avoid going through self-destructive behaviours. Now, what would that look like? Well, that would be through drinking, alcohol, weed, drugs, going a full different scale, being criminal, robbing, stealing cars, or doing, interior self-destructive habits, whatever they may be. Obviously, that isn't going to help you, so you definitely do need to stop that. And the first 3 years, how to live, work, and love the situation. As I did say, in that episode, you could study, do exercise, social, find groups. Especially for men, there's men's circles. I'm sure there's obviously heaps of women's circles as well. But find groups, meet up, whether it's preferably in person, but if you have to do it online, that's okay. Just find a good network that you feel comfortable with. I will say, obviously, with men, if there's men's circles, especially when you're younger, you may think, oh, this is a bit weird or too much, or are they going to do something to me? I don't know. Well, that is quite common, that's understandable. We can always ask someone to go with you, or just go and experience it and or ask questions to get an understanding how it is. It may not be for everyone, but there are good groups out there. There's at least several organisations that do that, and especially for men at any age or all ages. I would strongly suggest for your mental and psychological benefit to at least attend one and see if it is for you. So, setting goals and moving on and building a future and rebuilding your life. Obviously, what has happened doesn't need to dictate you in any way, shape, or form, or you don't need to be a terrible person. Uh, yes, you may feel that the world is against you, or you may hate the world, which is completely understandable. But that doesn't give you a reason to be a shitty person. Not truth, but it is the truth. Now, what you want to do is set some goals when you're rebuilding your life and moving forward, because you don't want to be the victim. You're allowed to feel sorry down for yourself, but you don't want to be the victim. So that would be goals that you set at 1 month, 3 years, 1 year, and 3 to 5 years. I would strongly recommend to Google a 3 or 5 year timeline plan, or 3 to 5 year goal plan, timeline plan. There's a lot out there and templates that you can use. You want to set goals that are objectively, realistically attainable. That again is objectively, realistically attainable. For example, which I have done in the past, at moments in life, but here's an example. Say for 3 months, you want to see friends and family twice a week, so you keep a good social life. You want to wake at 5 to 6 a.m., perhaps even go for a jog or a walk, and save 5 to 15% of your income. That seems like fair goals that you can do, but obviously everyone is different. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what you should do or where you should go, but obviously you want to set good, positive goals that will guide you in the right direction. I will also say to rebuilding your life that as you're doing all this, you want to find ways to stay healthy and stay optimistic as best as you can, because when you're down in the dumps, you can be down there for a while. Let's face it, and you definitely don't want to be down there for a while. What I can share in my own personal in the last 13 and a half years, that I worked quite a fair bit in my time. Perhaps work might have been a way to distract and cope. Still probably not the best. You could say that's self-destructive. Probably on a scale a bit down than alcohol and drugs, but you know.